From time to time, all families experience tension as a normal part of life. For some families, it can be such a big part of some days that it can feel overwhelming. Whilst conflict is an inevitable part of being human, the good news is that when handled carefully, it can lead to increased closeness in families. However, not dealing effectively with conflict can lead to problematic coping behaviours and patterns. How you as a parent deal with conflict can be rooted in your past experiences of conflict. And those same patterns, be them negative or positive, can repeat themselves with your own children. It can feel daunting trying to unpick something so complex, and finding a positive way forward can feel out of reach at times. There's a model which can help simplify the patterns of behaviour we typically fall into when dealing with conflict. It's known as the drama triangle, and was first described by the psychologist Stephen Karpman. The drama triangle provides a model for thinking about how to behave when conflict arises. There are three main roles that everyone tends to take up at different times: the victim, the rescuer, and the persecutor. The victim role. It's important to recognise that this isn't referring to situations where you're an actual victim, for instance, of a crime. Instead, it's about how you feel. If you cast yourself in the role of victim, you may feel helpless and powerless to change the circumstances, when this isn't actually the case. You may feel that those around you are sabotaging your efforts and everyone is against you. When taking up the victim role, you're looking for someone else to solve your problem. Here's an example to illustrate a source of conflict in a home. There's a shared iPad in the family which the child is playing a game on, but the parent needs it back to do the online shopping, and this is causing problems. When taking up the victim role, this might involve responding with, "I spent a lot on the iPad. I work hard to give you things. I just need it for a few minutes." Another role someone may take up is the rescuer. In rescue mode, you may step in to save the person taking up the victim role, certain that this is the right thing to do. You may feel the victim can't cope without your help and try to relieve their pain, but at the same time, it can feel overwhelming how much you're relied on. And your actions can actually make the situation worse, causing the victim to be dependent on you to resolve the conflict. Going back to the iPad scenario, the rescuer might say, "I know you love this game. It's all right. I'll just go shopping in person when you're all in bed for the night." The persecutor is the third role. When taking up this role, you blame others and feel critical and angry. You may also feel like you have to take control and put things right. In the persecutor role, we can be blind to how we're using power in a negative way. In our scenario, the persecutor would say, "You're not having the iPad again unless you can promise to give it to me when I want it. No more iPad if this isn't the case." It can be difficult to pinpoint which role you typically play, especially as you may switch between the three as the drama unfolds, and you may also tend to take up different roles at home, at work, and with different friends and family members. However, none of these roles are helpful, and taking some time to acknowledge and recognise your own tendencies can help you step outside them, and in doing so, navigate conflict more productively. So, how can we break free of these roles and build a more positive and nurturing home environment? If or when you notice yourself taking on the victim role, the first step is to avoid blaming other people. Take time to challenge your beliefs and really take responsibility for your own thoughts, feelings, and behaviours. Going back to the iPad example, you could recognise that there are competing interests. You both want to use the iPad, and whoever is unable to use it will feel frustrated. Use problem-solving skills to address issues which arise and seek help if you need it, but also remember to be compassionate with yourself. When finding yourself in the role of the rescuer, the way out of this is to step back from thinking that you, on your own, need to fix things. For instance, with the iPad, you can hold in mind that postponing using it will leave you with little rest and relaxation time later in the day, and recognise that you need downtime too. You can work together with the person cast as victim to jointly problem-solve ways forward. You can also ask others to help. Finally, when working on avoiding taking the role of persecutor, a goal should be to be assertive instead of aggressive. You should try and diffuse the tension so joint solutions can be found. The quickest and easiest way to do this is through empathizing and showing understanding. With the iPad, you can share the dilemma. I need to get some shopping done, and I'll be too tired to do it later. I can see that you're enjoying your game, and it will be frustrating to have to stop. I'll give you 5 more minutes to finish up as much as you can, and then I'm going to do the shopping. It's powerful to use I statements instead of you to lessen the blame on the victim. An example of this might be a child or young person wanting to go somewhere you don't feel comfortable with. Instead of saying, "You cannot be trusted," try, "I don't feel comfortable with you going there." This isn't a magic fix, but it will certainly cool the drama quicker. In the heat of the moment, it can be difficult to remain calm, but it's worth paying attention to your tone and the volume of your voice, as this can exasperate upset. Conflict is an inevitable part of family life. Drawing on the drama triangle can help navigate it. And always remember, when conflict has arisen, regardless of how well we cope in the moment, afterwards, remember to reconnect with your child or partner after any conflict, and reassure them that your love is unconditional. Our film on emotional relatedness provides information about this.